Take a slice out of your competition with the Wilson Blade 100 V9. One of the newer models in the Blade family, the Wilson Blade 100 receives an update for 2024. New in this V9 generation is StableFeel technology for increased stability and power thanks to a slightly firmer layup. Additionally, the convenient new clip-and-go grommet system allows easy replacement and a locked-in feel. Fans of previous generations will still enjoy the direct connect technology and FortyFive layup. The racket features an 11.2-ounce strung weight, a 4 points headlight balance, and a 60 stiffness rating. Previous Blade 100s have always been a really easy to use and user-friendly racket for me, especially because my racket of choice, the Yonex EZone 100, plays pretty similar, and this is true for this update. When I first got this V9 version in my hand, I really love the cosmetics. It really just is a sharp looking racket, so that made me really excited to head down to the court. Now when I was on the baseline hitting ground strokes, I really loved the blend of power and control with this racket. I had enough power to be aggressive with my shots, but still that control to keep those shots in the court. So when I was playing points, I found I could be really aggressive and hit a pretty heavy ball to keep my opponent pushed back. Now whether I was playing singles or doubles, I thought this was a pretty versatile racket, especially when I was heading up at net. With this update, I really loved the plush, connected, kind of direct feel that I got, and that allowed me to hit a variety of volleys in all the different situations. While I did enjoy serving with this racket, I definitely preferred to return with this racket. I just found a great groove. Stepping up to the baseline and getting ready to return, I found I could swing and get the racket around my body quickly, but have enough stability that no matter what serve was hit at me, I could get it back and be effective and aggressive and on the offense right from the start. Overall, this Blade 100 is my favorite racket in the Blade family, and it is in my top 2 favorite rackets from Wilson.
It's always a good time playtesting the Blade 100 racket. I've been on a few iterations of this racket, and I always am impressed with how easy it is to use. From the baseline, I found that I could swing the racket pretty effortlessly to generate good racket head speed with, to get good power and spin with it. Also found that open string pattern was allowing me to get with a little bit more net clearance and easier depth. I actually thought this racket played very similarly to the previous version. This one actually might have felt a little bit more stable, but the biggest difference here I think is in the feel. This one felt just slightly more stiff, but also felt slightly more muted as well. Kind of an interesting combination, but I really enjoyed how I played with this racket. I really liked it from all areas of the court. It probably could have used a little bit of weight up at net and on serve for me, but other than that, the Blade 100 continues to be one of my favorite rackets in the Blade line. Those were our thoughts on the new Blade 100 V9. Now we're gonna throw it over to our East Coast team. Anna, what'd you think of this new Blade?
Thank you, Jason. I gotta start by saying that I not only love the way the racket played, but I also love the new paint job Wilson got on this racket. It's not only my favorite color, but I love the little details that they got on the frame and the grommets. I think it just looks great. But I completely fell in love with this racket as soon as I first hit it. My forehands and backhands were great. I not only was able to generate a lot of spin and power, but I also felt lots of control over the ball. And it also felt great on my slice and drop shots. I felt like I could change the rhythm of the point very easily too. With the 100-inch head size, it not only offers more power, but it's also forgiving when hitting the ball outside of the sweet spot. Even on shots that I was rather late, I was able to still have lots of control over the ball and play with more intention, and the ball will go wherever I want it to go. I do gotta say that this is a great racket for more spin. It gets a lot of power while still having a lot of control feeling over the ball. A highlight for me were especially my returns, since it's very more maneuverable than the older versions. I was very quick on taking the racket back and hitting the returns in front with fast serves. Even on second serves, I was able also to step in and go for more deep shots with heavy spin so I can take control of the point. Personally, I like this racket. It played really well to my game. It's probably one of the best ones I've tried so far, but I did get to play a little bit with the 98 version, and I gotta say that the 100 head size is more forgiving, more responsive, and it's a little easier to swing through. However, if you're a player that's looking for more control or precision, I would definitely advise you to check out the 98 version of the blade, but I still will advise you to also check this 100 blade. Overall, I think this racket is great for any player that's looking to have a lot of power and spin over the ball while still having lots of feeling of control.
I can honestly say I had a lot of fun testing the new Wilson Blade 100 V9. I thought it was a super easy racket to play with and to pick up and get on the court with right away, and just felt really comfortable. It was pretty forgiving. The sweet spot was kind of big. Thanks to the fast racket head, I was able to get under the shots really easily and maneuver the racket head very fast and create that extra spin that I love. The 100 square inch head size also assisted me with that extra spin, so if that's what you're looking for in a blade, you will be very happy with this one. Another highlight for me that I would like to mention is that this version of the Blade 100, the V9, did feel a bit less soft than the previous version. Even though on paper both rackets have the same stiffness rating, the new version does definitely feel a bit more stiff, and I was very thankful for that because, generally speaking, I definitely prefer rackets that are a bit more on the stiffer side. One more thing I would like to mention about this racket is just I would have liked to have a bit more control on some of my shots, as I did feel like the racket was a bit too launchy when I hit the ball a bit towards the top of the racket head. So it was just something I had to keep in mind when it comes to shot selection. I would say I definitely enjoyed the racket on serves and overheads. I definitely was thankful for that fast racket head speed, as I felt like I was really easily generating some slice and placing my shots with that. All in all, I would say the new Blade 100 V9 is just a super fun racket to play with, and I personally think it's just a bit underrated in the blade line, so definitely get out on the court, try this, and you'll be surprised by how much you will like it. Thanks for watching. We strung up the new Wilson Blade 100 V9 with Luxor power at around 52 pounds. For more information on this racket or any others, please go check out Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.